A lone figure stumbles through the dense forest, her clothes torn and dirty. She's bruised, bleeding, and completely lost. This is Sarah, a 19-year-old college student who set out for a simple day hike. Now, she's fighting for her life. She shouldn't have survived, but she did. This is how Sarah endured 8 days against nature's fury. Just days earlier, Sarah was a typical, adventurous college sophomore. She loved nature and had always dreamed of solo hiking. With a break from classes, she decided it was time. Sarah packed light, a small backpack with water, some snacks, and a basic first aid kit. No GPS tracker, no satellite phone. She was confident in her abilities and the well-marked trail. As she set out that morning, the sun was shining. The air was crisp. Sarah felt alive. But nature can be unforgiving to the unprepared. By mid-afternoon, Sarah realized something was wrong. The trail markers had disappeared. Her phone showed no signal, and the sky was growing dark with ominous clouds. Panic began to set in as Sarah tried to retrace her steps. But in her haste, she lost her footing on some slippery rocks. She tumbled down a steep embankment, crying out in pain as her leg twisted beneath her. Rain began to pour. Night was falling fast. Sarah screamed for help, her voice echoing through the empty forest. But no one was there to hear her cries. As the first night settled in, Sarah huddled beneath a large tree, shivering in her wet clothes. She tried to calm herself, to think rationally about survival, but fear gripped her heart as wolves howled in the distance. When morning came, Sarah knew she had to find water and food. She collected rainwater from large leaves, grateful for each precious drop. Her stomach growled with hunger. She spotted some berries on a nearby bush. Were they safe to eat? Sarah hesitated, then popped a few in her mouth. It was a risk she had to take. As the day wore on, Sarah realized she needed shelter. She gathered branches and leaves, constructing a crude lean-to. It wasn't much, but it would have to do. To keep track of time, Sarah found a sharp rock and began carving notches into a fallen log, one mark for each day. She prayed she wouldn't need many, but that wasn't the worst part. As night fell again, Sarah heard rustling in the underbrush. Something was out there, watching her. She clutched her makeshift shelter, heart pounding. Would she survive another night? Days blurred together. Sarah's leg throbbed with pain. Her stomach ached with hunger. She talked to herself, to the trees, to God. Anything to keep her mind active. Someone will find me, she whispered. I just have to hold on. But as the days passed, Sarah's hope began to fade. Her body was growing weaker. The nights were getting colder. On the seventh night, Sarah's thoughts turned dark. She was so tired, so very tired. If I don't wake up tomorrow, she murmured, I'm okay. Sarah closed her eyes, unsure if she'd ever open them again. But fate had other plans. As dawn broke on the eighth day, a faint sound cut through the morning mist. Sarah's eyes fluttered open. Was she dreaming? The sound grew louder. A steady thump, thump, thump. A helicopter. With the last of her strength, Sarah grabbed a piece of red cloth from her tattered shirt. She stumbled out of her shelter, waving the fabric wildly above her head. The helicopter circled once, twice. Had they seen her? As the aircraft began to descend, Sarah's legs gave out. She collapsed to the ground, tears streaming down her face. Strong arms lifted her. A medic's voice cut through the haze. She's alive, but barely. We found her just in time. Sarah had been minutes away from death, but against all odds, she had survived. In the months that followed, Sarah's story captivated the nation. As she recovered, she began to understand the profound impact of her ordeal. Now, Sarah speaks to schools and organizations about survival and mental strength. She teaches others the lessons she learned in those harrowing 8 days. I thought I was weak, Sarah often says, her voice strong and clear. But nature taught me I'm stronger than I ever knew. Her eyes shine with a newfound wisdom as she continues. We all have that strength inside us. Sometimes it takes facing our darkest moments to discover it. Sarah's journey reminds us of the indomitable human spirit. In the face of overwhelming odds, she found a well of courage she never knew existed. Her story is a testament to the power of hope, the will to survive, and the strength we all possess within. As Sarah stands before rapt audiences, sharing her tale of survival, her words resonate with a truth born of experience. Nature can be brutal, but it can also be our greatest teacher. She pauses, her gaze sweeping across the room. I went into those woods as a girl who thought she knew everything. I came out as a woman who understood how little she truly knew. Sarah's voice softens, filled with emotion. But I also learned this: we are capable of so much more than we believe. When pushed to our limits, we can find strength we never knew we had. Her final words hang in the air, a powerful reminder to all who hear them. So never give up. No matter how dark it seems, keep fighting, because you are stronger than you know. As Sarah's story fades from the screen, we're left with a profound sense of awe at the resilience of the human spirit, at the raw power of nature, and at the incredible strength that lies dormant within us all, waiting to be awakened in our darkest hour. Her 8 days alone in the wilderness were a crucible, forging an ordinary college student into an extraordinary survivor. Sarah's tale serves as a beacon of hope, illuminating the untapped reservoirs of courage we all possess. In the end, Sarah's impossible survival story is more than just a tale of endurance. It's a testament to the human will to live, to fight, and to overcome. It's a reminder that even in our most desperate moments, when all hope seems lost, we have the power to write our own endings, and sometimes those endings can be truly miraculous.